Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Show's World.
Welcome to Show's World Gamers, Josh here, and as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at some of this week's biggest news stories, as well as some of this week's gaming announcements, and a few of this week's biggest video game releases. But if this is your first time on the channel, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button so you can join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. Now definitely, the biggest news this week involves the upcoming successor to the Nintendo Switch, with a ton of news about the upcoming system, which is presumably being named the Switch 2, leaking out as manufacturing has begun with the new system. We received a look at an incomplete version of the board, and dimensions of the much larger 8-inch screen, along with the Joy-Cons and the new hardware that attaches them to the main console. Also, earlier this year we did get the announcement of the next big video game franchise that will be getting the LEGO treatment in actual sets, not just a game. And the partnership between Nintendo and LEGO, well, it continues to go strong, as we found out Mario Kart sets would be coming, and this week we actually got a look at a bunch of the new Mario Kart sets, and they are scheduled to release in 2025. Now last week we talked about the announcement of the return of Flappy Bird, the super popular mobile game. Well, as info on the game trickles out more and more, questions about the project and especially the company behind it have been surfacing. Now, the original creator in a tweet unveiled that he has no connection to the new game and that he does not support crypto, alluding to the company making the new game somewhat questionable reputation. Next up, let's take a look at a few gaming announcements. And we did get the announcement and, well, then the release of new games for the Nintendo Switch online service, this time in the Super Nintendo library of games. The games we got were Battletoads Double Dragon, along with the previous Japan-only games, Big Run, which is a racing game, Cosmo Ding the Puzzle, which is a puzzle game that it plays kind of like Pack Attack if you've ever played that, and Kunio-kun no Dodgeball, and there's more to that, but I'm not going to try and pronounce all that. It's actually the sequel to Super Dodgeball that only released in Japan. Now, we did check out the games here on the channel, so I will link that video at the end of this one, so definitely check that out. Now, Freedom Wars Remastered is a remake of the PlayStation Vita exclusive game. We received an announcement trailer this week showing off the action role-playing game where you are born into a 1 million year prison sentence and must survive deadly missions to earn any hope of freedom. The game is coming to the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, and it has a January 10th, 2025 release date. Now, 505 Games' upcoming project, Maitreya, received an announcement trailer this week. The game has you joining schoolgirl superhero Rhea and her manager Neo as they embark on their journey as hero content creators, fighting monstrous beings that emerge daily from a dimension beyond in this anime-inspired action-adventure game. The game is releasing on PC in 2025, and I expect the title will make its way to consoles next year also, so definitely stay tuned for that. Alright gamers, let's finish up this week in review with a few of this week's biggest video game releases. Now, the Plucky Squire released this week on the Nintendo Switch, PC, Xbox Series systems, and PlayStation 5, and it was also a day one release on PlayStation Plus. The game is a 3D action adventure style game that allows you to enter flat surfaces, turning the game into a variety of different 2D style games. We are playing the game here on the channel, and I will link that video at the end of this one, so definitely check it out. I'm really enjoying this game so far. Also releasing this week is Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. It released digitally this week, with the physical version of the game coming later this year on November 8th. The game is available on the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems. This is a remake of the first game in the Dead Rising series, which released on the Xbox 360 back in 2006, and I spent hours playing that game. It is fantastic. The game is a zombie survival game that takes place in and around a giant mall, and it's loaded with references to other Capcom games, and it's probably the most fun you can have in a zombie game. Now, Matchbox Driving Adventures released this week as Matchbox looks to join rival toy car maker Hot Wheels in the video game racing genre. In the game, you will jump into your vehicle, tackle rescue missions, and race against the clock. You'll also earn medals, unlock customizable cars and trucks, and drive your adventure. The game is available now on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation systems, PC, and Xbox systems. Now, the Karate Kid Street Rumble released this week on the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series systems. The game is a beat-em-up action-adventure game with that popular pixel art style that seems to be all the rage with all these classic IP beat-em-up games. The game is based on the original 3 movies, and it does support multiplayer couch co-op. Alright gamers, that concludes this week in review for the week ending on September 20th. The week started with the internet ablaze as the PlayStation 5 Pro seems to be getting more and more info going public about the console, none of which has been popular, and so far this announcement has not gone over well with the gaming community. Then the Plucky Squire released, which we are playing on the channel, and I'm having an absolute blast with the game. It's a ton of fun, and definitely check out the video that's going to pop up here in just a moment for part 1 of our playthrough. We're playing through the whole game here on the channel. And the week ended with the Switch 2 excitement at a fever pitch as the community's, hope for an official announcement ahead of next week's Tokyo Game Show. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. Shows World